Hey everybody, it's Sarah Bailey. How are you doing today? Well, we are now coming to the end of the year 2010, and it's an important time to reflect on our past year, to see what we've been doing and what changes we might want to make for the future. So what I want you to do is get out a piece of paper and a pen, and we're going to write down some questions, things I want you to think about, and really take 2 or 3 hours and contemplate about the questions that I'm going to ask you, because if you do and you take some time to consider it, then it will help launch you into a really successful 2011. Okay, are you ready? Now, I want you to think about this past year and what have you achieved in this past year? What things have you done right? What things have you done wrong, or things that you might do differently? Doesn't matter if they're wrong. We can learn from everything, right? We probably learn more from things we do wrong than things that we do right anyway. So it doesn't matter. What things would you do differently? And what things have surprised you over this past year? What have you learned? I want you to think about the 3 most significant events over this past year. Now you might have 2 different categories. You might have one for personal, and you also might have one for professional or your business life. But what are the 3 most significant events over this past year? Maybe you started a new business. Maybe you have a birth in the family. Maybe you moved. I don't know. What is it for you? Maybe you grew a really big team. Maybe you had some great rank advancements in your company. So think about the 3 most significant events. Now I want you to think about the 3 most significant people in your life today. Who has come into your life in this past year? Maybe it's a friend, a business partner. Who is it that is now the most important person in your life today, or the 3 most important people? And make sure you go back to those people and you acknowledge them and you thank them for whatever impact they've had on your life in this past year. Because in the end, it all comes down to relationships, and relationships are more important than anything else. So it's not so much about how much money you have, or what kind of job you have, or what company you're with, but it's the relationships that we build over time and the connections that we make that are just so important. So make sure you take the time to acknowledge the people that have come into your life in this past year, and that you thank them. All right, now for your business, let's say you're in network marketing or in direct sales business. It's really critical for you to go back and look on the past year and see what you've done, because if you don't know what you've been doing, then you don't know where you're going. So hopefully you've kept records over this past year about the business presentations that you've done and the phone calls that you've made. If you haven't, you want to make sure to do that in the upcoming year. So take a look back on the past year, and what has surprised you about that? How many calls are you making per day, and how many business presentations are you doing? Because the single most important activity that you can do in your business of network marketing is prospecting. If you're not talking to people, you're probably not making very much money, right? And so what I want you to do is look at that. How many phone calls are you making per day, and how many business presentations are you doing per day or per week? And if you're not in the double digits, then it's going to be hard for you to grow a successful business. The other thing to consider over the past year is personal growth and development. What are you reading these days? Your income is in direct relation to the amount of personal growth that you have. So if you have a little bitty check, then you probably have a little bitty business right now. So if you want to grow your business, make sure you grow personally as well. And if you want some ideas of some books, I have some great recommendations right on my blog at sarahbailey.net. You'll find an article there of recommendations for personal growth and personal development books. There's some great ideas there. All right, so I hope this has been helpful. What I want you to do is make some comments below. Think about if there are any other questions that you want to pose for people to think about for their past year. That'd be great. Let me know some things about you in this past year. What has worked for you, and what are you most proud of? What are you happiest about this past year? I'd love to hear it. You can post them either here on YouTube, or you can also post them right directly on my blog. I hope you have a happy new year, fantastic day, and we'll catch you soon. Thanks.